don't know what people are talking about when they saying pay your total balance by your closing date and not by your due date to boost your credit score. My biggest thing is I don't want to pay any interest to the credit bureau. So what I like to do is I like to pay my statement balance by the due date. You can pay the rest of your balance by the closing date, but don't not pay your statement balance by your due date, because you're only paying probably what, a day or two later. And what's going to happen is if you're just paying your total balance by your closing date, then you're going to find that you're paying interest every month when you could have just pushed your payment forward a few days and paid by your due date, and you could have got the boost to your credit score, plus you could have not paid any interest. Like, that's all I tell people, to pay your statement balance by your due date. If you have anything left over, pay that in a day or two, to make sure that you guys will have a low balance reported to the credit bureaus. And you don't even have to have your account fully paid off to see an increase in your credit score. You just have to make sure that you have a low utilization on that credit card and have that being reported, a lower balance. So do not mess up, you guys, and just think, oh, let me just go ahead and pay my balance by the closing date. Because if you guys do that, like I said, you guys are going to be paying interest, and that's something I don't want you guys to do. And I didn't even know anything at first. I didn't even know anything about you need to pay your statement balance by your due date, and then you can avoid interest. Like, I remember I used to pay like $30 a month, $40 a month, $50 a month for interest. And then I realized, like, that amount of money could have went towards something else. All I got to do is just make sure I pay my statement balance by my due date, and they won't charge me. As long as you do that, you're going to be good. And if you got anything left over to say, if your statement balance is basically what your balance was on your closing last month, or your closing date for last month. That's what they're saying your statement balance for your this month is. So I always tell people, just pay that statement balance. Once you pay your statement balance, then whatever you have left over, statement balance could be, say you got $2,000 credit card, $600 statement balance. I'll pay that $600 by the due date. If I have anything left over, say if my total balance was $1,400, that means I still have what, $800 that I still have to pay, because that would be like my total balance. 600 plus 800 would make the $1,400, which is my total balance. So I paid the $600, which is my statement balance. I will pay most of that $800, at least, like, if I don't pay it on my due date, I'll pay it a day or two later, just to make sure that when they report to the credit bureaus, they'll report what, $100, or with a $2,000 credit card. I always tell people, you want to pay, you only want 5% of that balance, that credit limit reporting. So $2,000, 5% of that is $100. So I would pay everything but $100 if I needed to. I would pay the whole thing if I had it like that. But I'll pay everything but that $100, just to make sure that they report to the credit bureaus. And if for some reason you guys just don't have the money like that, and you're like, Rickita, that sounds ideal, I tell people, if you want to just have a better credit score, just pay whatever you can pay. And then if you got to max out your credit card and use up your credit card again, after they report to the credit bureaus, after Credit Karma say, hey, we see your reporting, then you can go ahead. Or they say, hey, your statement is out. The bank say, hey, here's your new statement. If you need to max out that credit card and start the process all over again, then you can go ahead and do that. But don't let them report a balance to the credit bureau for your credit score. I said, don't let them report a balance to the credit bureaus, and just make sure you pay your statement balance by your due date, so you don't be charged any interest. So if you do those things, you'll be good. But hopefully that helped you, and hopefully I explained that well. Sometimes I get to explain it and then I'll be like, oh, what did I just say? My mind goes all over the place. Think about all of the different things I have to do, but hopefully that helps. So pay your statement balance by the due date, and pay your total balance down at least a day or two after your due date. You have to pay it. Then try to pay it early, because some of the companies will say, hey, we're not going to report your balance if you're after a certain time, all that crazy stuff. So just make sure you pay it early in the day. And if you can just pay it all by your due date, do that. And if you have to use it again after your statement is reported, your balance is, new balance is reported, then do that. But at least you're going to have a great credit score. Like, credit score be lit, and you're not getting charged any interest.